off, congratulations on your newest single, Outlaws. It is amazing. We know you've been playing it at various sets for a while now. How does it feel to now have it released as a single?
It's a relief. That's one feeling. It's actually really great to finally sort of being able to push it and name the track in my sets. I've been test playing it in my live sets and then also stream sets for a good while now. And initially it was an instrumental. It kind of stood on my hard drive for a year and a half or something until I found the vocalist, and I knew it needed a vocal, and I wasn't in a panic or a rush with it. And then of all things, I found this guy called Oscar who lives about 35 minutes from me, and he's amazing, nailed the vocal, and I tried it as an instrumental before. It worked really nice, but then when the vocal's there and people hear it in a breakdown, it's one of those tracks where I guess there's something familiar about it maybe, or the vocal style or something, because people try and sing to it immediately, even though they don't know the words. And it's kind of funny because I know you don't know the words, but I can see your mouth moving. I'm like, what are you singing? but that's very cool though, because it gives that, or has that effect on people. And yeah, I'm really, truly excited finally. And then the other part of the excitement is that we started a label as well, and this is the first release on my own label. And it while I've had good partners before and nothing really horrible has happened with labels, but having nobody to tell me what to do right now with my music, that's a great feeling.
Very interesting. And like, it's super interesting you did mention that Oscar lived only 35 minutes from you.
Yeah, how good's that?
Yeah. So how did you
Very convenient
go about in, finding him for the vocals? Did you know of him before? How did you kind of meet up?
Honestly, I did not know him before until I saw him on Eurovision Song Contest, the Finnish part of it, where he was one of the contestants. And he actually didn't win that year and didn't represent Finland in 21, but I saw him perform in the finals and just fell for his vocal. He's got this raspiness to it. He has a certain way of singing. It's kind of almost folky or something, rocky maybe. And then, well, I got to just know his name, reached out on socials, and it's interesting because I actually lived in the city as well, in that city Turku, for like 13 years, but I think he's like 10 years or something younger than I am, so maybe we didn't just run in the same circles, while the musician circles are quite small there. But anyway, found him, and he was keen on working with me, and there's actually another track or probably two coming with him as well, and I'm really, really excited that I found him. He's a great singer, songwriter, but he's also a producer himself, so he makes music himself and he records his own vocals and basically delivers almost ready-made stuff for me, so it's a joy to work with as well.
Wow. Well, look, we've heard it here first. There's more singles coming. That's super exciting. Was this the same with House Body as well? Because we know he's from Finland as well. How did you kind of get to collaborate with them as well?
Well, I've known House Body, i.e. Jaakko Manninen, for over 20 years now. He's actually a visual artist as well as a musician. He's around the time when I came up, started touring, he had a band called Beats and Styles with another guy, and then they also had a live band, and we toured in some same places. But then when my second album came out in 2003 and the first single, Music, when we made the music video, it was him and his brother. They had a music video production company, and now I think Outlaws was 8th music video that he's produced, and him and his crew has produced for me. So I knew him from that as well. But anyway, I happened to be in California where he lives, on the road, and just basically called him up. I played in LA and called him up. You want to hang out? I went to see him and his family for a couple of days. We hung out in the studio, and this is what came out, kind of.
Lovely, very wholesome kind of connection. And I love that, as
Yeah.
you said, he's directed like 8 of your videos before. So, you know, if you like it, don't leave it. Very good. And
Yeah,
you
exactly.
touched on this briefly with Vibing Out, but we'd love to sort of understand how Vibing Out started as a bit of a, you know, streaming project and what it's sort of become today. We'd love to understand one sort of conception, but 2, where you see it going.
Well, the thing is, so I've streamed already before the pandemic. Like, I started streaming on Twitch in 2015, but did kind of like random studio sessions here and there, like this is how I make my kick drums, or I did track sort of like run-throughs, like showed an older track of mine, like, hey, you know, here's what I was thinking when I was doing this, here's the bass line, here's this and that. But that was kind of random. But then when the pandemic started, as crappy as that all was, but it led to me being regular on Twitch. So I started, Mondays was my studio thing. That was something that I just described. Wednesdays I did this talk show kind of thing, or chat stream. I chatted with my peers, people could listen in, and then I would take their questions, and then Fridays would be my DJ stream, which I named Vibing Out. And the thing about that was that I did it very for selfish reasons. I did it for me to get to connect with a crowd, because now I wasn't playing live. And I also did it so that I would maintain my sort of DJ brain, that I would every week check out new promos, new tracks. But it was interesting because a lot of people, and by the way, I'm not mocking anybody, I'm just explaining what I did. But a lot of people tried to continue the DJing at a club kind of vibe. So they would have green screens and big stages, or they would be in their room, in their corner, but they would jump up and down and go crazy and keep the energy up. And nothing wrong with that, but I was just like, I can't be in my studio alone and whoop, whoop, you know.
Yeah.
It felt like strange to me. So this is what I would do. I would be right here, and I think you see a different picture now. Or do you see a video at all, by the way?
No video, unfortunately.
Oh!
No, we've got it.
Well, I can show you right quick.
Oh, there we are. Amazing. Wonderful.
Okay. All right. So this is my studio, and I'm sorry. I thought it was automatically off then.
No.
But this is where I DJ on Fridays, and I would sit down, I would kind of calmly mix tracks in and out. I would look at my screens and talk to answer questions and this and that. And that's what it sort of became. And I realized that I don't need to do like crazy energetic, high BPM trance and big drops, but people were loving slower stuff, deep house and all kinds of things, which I would not normally play. And the more we went into the pandemic time-wise, the more it became apparent that that kind of DJing is wanted as well and felt as well. And people on the other end, in America, they'd be in their morning, making their morning coffees and getting up, getting to school or work or whatever. And, you guys would be in the end of your Friday or the Saturday side, possibly just going to bed or maybe coming from a club, vibing. And I realized that people are actually listening to music. And that steered my thinking of making my own music as well, because there was no gig next weekend for what I would make my track to or for. And so that community built, and it shaped my thinking quite a lot in terms of my music making and DJing. So now that I started the label, it literally influenced me so much in many ways that I decided sort of to honor the stream and the streaming community, naming the label Vibing Out as well. And obviously it's kind of a sort of nice little core fan base to begin with for Vibing Out. And I want to have the label it's for my own music, so I don't have to think about whoever when I make it or when I release it. But then also, we want to release stuff from kind of anybody that when I like something that I hear, and if they want it released, I can release it if I want to. And we're also trying to be very transparent and very sort of no gimmicks in the contracts kind of label. And we'll also be like, well, I like this track, but I don't think I can do anything with it. Like if it's a genre that I don't like or a genre that I don't know, then maybe we'll pass and hope that they'll find a better home somewhere else. Because I'm kind of I've heard a million horror stories about being stuck with labels and labels doing people wrong, and I really basically saying it verbally out now, it actually should ensure that I need to, keep to my word as well. There's a business side of running a label, and you have to make money, and you have to have contracts, and you have to have certain percentages and whatnot. But we want to be a label that is not unfair or shady to the artists that we will sign in the future.
And look, it's so good to have that transparency there.
Authenticity.
Yeah. And look, I think you're going to know my next question. What warrants a like from Darude? What gets a sign from Darude? What piques your interest?
Wow. Well, honestly, I'm very, I have a very wide range of music that I like. Obviously, people think of me as a trance DJ and an electronic dance music producer. So that's what we want to sign broadly on a label as well. I mean, it's not like rock music that I like that I want to sign or will, because we need to have some sort of a scale and range so that people, especially DJs, go by labels quite a lot. So if you mention our label's name, they should think of something, a range of something. And so I would say it's just house in, it's deep tech, progressive vocal kind of range, the same with trance really. But there's also, like, if I come across a great pop record, a potential one, why not release that? But then we'd obviously do, a banging, whatever, dance floor mixes as well, be it trance or house or something, because it's also sort of based on what I would play in my DJ set or what I want to play. And I mean, that's one of the avenues where we will be obviously promoting whatever tracks we release as well. So it kind of doesn't make any sense to release a record that I would never play in my DJ set, even if I liked it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting. I mean, look, it's good to know that, trance, house are all in the vibing out wheelhouse. So it's good to have that kind of distinction there.
Yeah.
To kind of, bring ourselves into this and make it a bit hyper-local, where we want to know a little bit about your time in Australia, because we know you've been here for we just want to know sort of, are there any differences with Australian audiences as opposed to other audiences you've performed for before?
Yes and no. I mean, what is amazing is that, music is a very universal language. And when I go and play in America, when I play in Finland, when I play somewhere in Europe or Australia, I don't need to too much worry about my set. Like a similar set or my kind of thought of a set works kind of everywhere. I tweak per night, I mean, obviously I don't play the same set every night, but I have my active stuff that if I play tonight and tomorrow and you hear both sets, you will hear similar tracks and similar combos of tracks. But then in a month, you will hear a different thing because I phased out tracks and brought in new ones. But the Aussie crowds, to me, I've always felt that you guys are very open-minded in the sense that like my best example always is like you can have a festival stage where the same day you would have a drum and bass act, you would have a deep house act, you would have a trance act, and then you could have something like, say, Prodigy. And, maybe 25%, maybe 50% of the crowd changes when the act changes, but a lot of people, sometimes most people, just stay and party because it's a party. And in some places, people are very fussy about that kind of thing, and they are like, "Oh, I only like this and that." But I very much feel that Aussies are just easygoing. This is a party, and now we party. It doesn't matter exactly who is on stage right now, as long as the music and vibes are good.
Yeah, no, I think you're pretty spot on there. But look, when you're playing, we'll absolutely come watch. Can we expect you? Like, are you hoping to come back anytime soon, or am I being a bit greedy and hoping that?
Be as greedy as you want. I like that. My ego likes that a lot. Realities. I did June, a good tour, and then the December, January again, which was great. Both of them were actually really good tours. Right now, I don't have a tour planned, but my agent definitely keeps their eyes and ears open. And how it works in Australia for me, you guys are so far, so it's not just an easy hop and a skip there. So we usually do at least 2, but probably 3, even 4 weekends at a time. And we need to find a couple of sort of anchoring gigs, like big festivals or something like that. And then my agent can build a tour around that. And right now I know we've had requests, but we haven't started building a tour yet. It might be end of the year, might even be next year, which would suck because that's a long time. As I love coming to Australia, it's a really good market for me as well. So fingers crossed that it's sooner than next year.
We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Incredible. Cool. Lovely. So, last but not least, we'd love to know, I guess, within your Outlaws video, you do have a dance. So what if we can sort of have a bit of a go at it with you?
Say again, muffled, the dance and...
Yes, so we've learnt the dance. We were wondering if we could show you, or if you can...
Oh. You know what we could do? I would love you guys to show me, and I can take part in some of that. Actually, I don't know if you've seen my last kind of couple of days social media. There's a couple of things from behind the scenes where we actually did this conference room thing where we all were learning it, and it was kind of fun. I'm not the best of dancers, to be honest. That's why I guess I'm a DJ. But I can do stuff with you if you want.
Do the snake. So we start at snake, and then we block the haters. Block the haters.
Block the haters.
Block. And then round the car.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Back pedal.
And then we have back pedal. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll let you continue to do it. Yeah.
And then we have the
signal the plane.
Whatever, guide the airplane or whatever it was called exactly. Yeah. Then we had throwing the spear, right? And then we have mountain climbing or whatever that was called exactly.
Yep, a high five.
And then we had the drop.
Amazing.
And drop.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, with it, mic drop. Second it came out, we're like, we gotta do it. We'd be silly.
Yeah, but here is my challenge now. Formally, I'm expecting a Insta or TikTok or whatever video of you guys doing it to the track. So.
All right, well, challenge accepted. Yeah. We'll put it together.
Nice.
With our video. So we'll
cool.
tag you. We'll tag the tag it all so you can see.
Please do.
Yeah. Well, you've made a great dance. We've got to do it. Oh yeah. Well, that's everything on our end. Is there anything else that you'd like to add, or anything you feel you'd like to touch on before we head out?
I don't think so. The thing that I would like from people is to just listen to the track, check the music video. We had a ton of fun making the music video, by the way. And like I said, house buddy Jaakko, who I've known for a long time, he's a riot. And I can tell you from behind the scenes, by the way. So Jaakko is the one who is doing the Running Man, who is the shirtless guy in the video. And as you can see, he's fearless and he's amazing. And he lived that character that day. He had his eyeliner all day. He was half the day wearing the big jacket that you see in the beginning of the video. And it was so funny to have him be behind the camera with all the gear on, 1 second serious and like discussing with his brother about this and that or assistant, and then the next minute he's doing the Running Man or whatever.
Alter ego.
Yeah, yeah. And I also need to mention my brother Oscar, who was the really cool mustache wearing cop. Yeah. And he also really threw himself into the role. I really enjoyed it. And then also a big shout out to everybody who was there. It was the last snowless weekend in November, and I don't know how we were so lucky. It was actually below freezing. Wow. I think at some point of the day, and people were in their tees and tank tops and whatnot, and they were just going at it. And we tried our best to keep all the breaks short enough and then just blast music so that they would keep themselves warm dancing. And it was incredible experience, and you know, the extras and all the crew really made the video happen. So I'm very thankful for that.
Amazing. Look, you want to be part of it. It's worth the below freezing, which, look, it's unheard of in Australia, but you know, you got to make it.
Yeah, I know.
Good. You make do.
Incredible.
Oh, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure to meet you. And yeah, we really appreciate it.